Broadcasting live from Studio A at WDWL TV, located on Grumpy Vulture Boulevard. And my broadcast studios, just in case somebody wants to visit, are located on Grumpy Old Man Road. And we are a division of Grumpy Vulture Productions. Take a bow. All right, look at the camera. You're leaning a little bit. Hey, let me adjust you on your perch. I know, you don't like being touched. I know. I'm trying to get you back on your perch. There, look at the camera. Right there. Turn a little bit more and look at the camera. Okay. You did your bit for the day. Sit there. You know, it's sad when people's lives, like mine, are ruled by medication and not their free will. Now, I have every piece I need to repair the RAV4. I've got the fuel pump, I've got the brake pads, I got the special brake tool that I needed, I've got the fuel line in case I need to go from the tank up to, I got everything. Matter of fact, I got my new jack, my jack stand. I'm ready. So since I had every piece I needed yesterday, I was like, okay. This morning when I get up, I have my coffee, wait till the temperature rises a little bit, and go out and work on the Toyota. Okay. The best laid plans of mice and men. Well, my plans got laid, all right. Sidelined. Pissed me off. Here's the reason. Due to Grumpy's degenerative disc disease, I'm on some pretty nasty medication. Junkies would love to get into my medicine cabinet. Yeah. Needless to say, I'm on these certain patches that deliver medication over a 48-hour period. Okay? Unfortunately, it seems like every 3 months, my pharmacy, for some reason, can't get my medication. Like, sorry, we can't get your patches. I'm like, wait a minute. We've got everything worked out. The pharmacist and I sat down and said, as soon as I pick up my medication, the order immediately goes in to ship that medication again. Because unfortunately, there's only 2 of us that come to this pharmacy that have this large dose. Well, this month I go in and I felt sorry for the girl behind the counter because she knows me. I mean, I've been going to this same pharmacy for eons. She walks over to, the area, the shelf, and she picks up my bag of medication and she sets it down and she starts shaking her head. And I knew what was coming. I said, different patches, right? She went, yeah. I said, the blue and white box? Yeah. I said, the shitty ones. Yeah. I don't know what it is with my original supplier, but it seems like every 3 to 4 months, for some reason, they have some reason they can't ship, which means then I got to go to alternate plan B. Now, I've been on these for so long that I don't get 48 hours. I'm lucky to get 38. Well, with these shitty patches, I'm lucky to get 30. So this morning, I wake up and I checked around my bedroom because I wanted to make sure nobody broke in and beat the fuck out of me with a baseball bat, because that's the way I felt, and I've been that way all day. Well, unfortunately, that fucked up my day. You know, I woke up, I go to get out of bed, I'm like, oh, yatcha fuck, here we go, a wasted day. Now, Ohio's had some unseasonably warm weather for this time of year. I want to take advantage of it because sooner or later the cold weather's going to be in. And I still not only got to do, the Toyota, the shitbox Nissan needs brakes. Now I've got all them parts too. The Nissan I've been putting off, my fault. Because of the asinine system, the way they mount the rotors. Normal rotors slide over the front of the hub. No, not on the Nissan. They bolt to the back of the hub, which means I have to take the whole hub assembly off. That entails taking the wheel bearings out, which I hate to fuck with. Oh, God, I hate to fuck with wheel bearings. But that's the way Nissan did it. They were like, I could see the engineer going, hey, I got an idea to fuck with everybody that buys one of these trucks. What's that, Sid? I'm going to engineer that the rotors get mounted to the back of the hub. Great idea, Sid. You'll have a lot of people pissed off at you. Yeah, and I'll enjoy every minute of it. Yeah, I think that's the way these engineers design things. They're like, how can we design something to fuck it up so bad that it takes people 3 times longer to fix it? Well, they're designing these cars because they don't want us backyard mechanics to fix them. They want to ensure that the dealer has repair work. So, they design all these cars with the dealer and the dealer's technicians in mind. Oh, we don't want you backyard mechanics fucking with our cars. Well, that's why I'll never own a newer car. I'll stick with something 25 years older. But even then, you're starting to get into the gray area. The 2000s are a lot different than the 97s. You can see where they're slowly implementing their plan to guarantee that the backyard mechanic gets screwed out of fixing his own car. I've seen it. I'm seeing it slowly. Because I pay attention, because, my shitboxes, both of them aren't going to last forever. So I'm keeping an eye on, 98, 99, 2000. But I'm not only looking at the price, I'm looking at the repairs. What can I do and what can't I do? Because I ain't buying no vehicle that I have to take to a mechanic. No. Not that I want to put a mechanic out of work, but I like fixing my own vehicles. That way I know that the repair got done the right way. I don't trust anything that's done out of my eyesight. Case in point, I change my own oil, because that way I know the oil pan bolt and the oil filter are torqued to proper specs. Now, a friend of mine, she insists on going to these fast oil change places. Well, she went to one of these recently. Got the oil and filter changed, telling her husband, "No, I don't want you to get dirty and greasy. I'll go to the oil change place up the street." So, she comes home from getting the oil changed. Luckily, her husband had the forethought to go out in the garage and just double check things. Well, there was a puddle of oil about 24 inches in diameter underneath her car because the asshole never tightened the drain plug. Had she driven that car, that drain plug, due to vibrations in the engine, would have slowly turned out more and more and more, and then eventually fell out. Uh-oh. And then her engine would have locked up. So her husband calls the oil change place and says, "Hey, your asshole technician didn't tighten the drain plug in my wife's car." "Oh, sir, we double check everything. That's impossible." So he sent them a picture of the oil puddle in his garage. And they were like, "Well, how do we know you didn't pour that oil there to try to get some kind of claim against us?" Oh, he went ballistic. He said, "Wait a minute. I'm coming down there and we're going to talk." Well, when he got down there, conveniently, the manager went to lunch. So, my buddy leaves. But actually, he doesn't. Because there's a restaurant right across the street from this oil change place. So he went around the block and he come in the back way at the restaurant. So in case they were watching. So, 35 minutes later, he sees the manager return. So he goes right across the street and goes, "Hi, I spoke to you before you conveniently ran to lunch." And he showed him the picture of the oil puddle in his garage. He said, "Now, tell me to my face that you double-checked my wife's oil pan." "No, you didn't. And you probably would have fought me on a new engine if the drain plug would have fallen out and seized up, because your insurance companies are all cheap assholes. I've read the horror stories." Lesson learned. He'll be changing her oil from now on because he knows once he's done with the job, it's done right. All these places are money suckers. That's all they are. And that's why I don't go to oil change places, and I don't go to mechanics unless I can watch them. There was an instance a year ago. I was starting to lose my brakes on the shitbox Nissan. I was like, "Oh, this ain't right." So luckily, at the top of the exit ramp is a little small repair shop. So I pulled in. And I says to the guy, brakes. I'm losing my brake pedal. He comes out, he looks under the hood, and he goes, oh, you got a leaking brake line. It looks like it's got a small crack in it. Bring it right in. I'll fix it. I said, before I bring it in, can I watch? He says, sure. You can talk to me and keep me company. That's a mechanic I like. But see, I also have to pay him. And I'm cheap. But I was forced into a situation where I needed it fixed right away. But he let me watch. And I saw it was done right. Will I use him again? If I get in a bind? Yeah. But I'm cheap. I like to fix it myself. So I'm praying tomorrow, once I put a fresh patch on before bedtime, that I wake up with enough, being pain-free, that I can go out and work on the ramp, because I'm running out of good weather. I got all the parts. I got everything I need. I just need a body that'll function right. That was years ago, but that's beside the point. And good weather. By the end of the week, we're going to run out of good weather. It's going to start getting colder. Now, I'm not going to be able to do both vehicles by the end of the week. But at least I'll have one done where I can slowly work on the other one. If I didn't have to take the damn hubs apart, I'd have had the brake work done on the shitbox Nissan, but I've been procrastinating, I'll admit, because I hate fucking wood wheel bearings. I wish that engineer was in the studio right now. Oh, him and I would have some words. Why they engineer it that way? Oh, God. Every other auto manufacturer engineers their vehicles so that when you take the caliper off, the rotors come right off. No. Nissan's like, oh, let's bolt ours to the back end of the hub. I knew something was odd when I ordered the pads and rotors. And they came in and I opened the box and went, oh, they sent me the wrong goddamn rotors. Because instead of having that round flat face with, the holes for the lugs, and you slide over, mine had 6 ears on them. My God, I never saw a goddamn rotor with ears. So then I opened the repair manual and went, oh, yatcha fuck. You gotta be fucking kidding me. No. That's the way they do it. Bolt on from the rear. Even semis don't have that kind of setup. Jesus Christ. My little, quarter-ton Nissan, oh yeah. And then, what really pisses me off, they have 1-ton rims, 6 lug. A quarter-ton truck should have 4 lug, maybe 5. A 3/4 and a 1-ton has 6 lug wheels. No, not Nissan. Yeah, I got 1-ton wheels on a 1/4-ton truck. And the rims are impossible to fucking find. I've been looking for rims for ages. And so are a lot of other people. Because it never fails. I check pull-aparts inventory weekly. I'll look. Oh, look. A 97 Nissan pickup came in. I'll go up there right away. What's missing? 4 rims. Got every other part on it. Somebody grabbed the rims. Never a dull moment when it comes to my vehicles. Oh, I need to update something from yesterday because it was brought to my attention. When I was holding the box up for the Toyota fuel pump, it said made in China. So I made a phone call to my Toyota parts distributor down south. And I said, hey, got a question. Sure, Grumpy, what is it? I says, how come the box for my fuel pump kit says made in China when you told me the fuel pump came from Japan? He said, it did. I said, then why does it say made in China? Federal regulations. Oh, get this. Those little screens that I showed you that go on the bottom of the fuel pump, you know, to keep dirt and shit from getting in the fuel system. Those little screens. Now, not the hose, not the clamps. Those 2 little screens are made in China. Anything made in China has to have a label, made in China. But it don't have to spell things out. So, an astute listener messaged me and said, Grumpy, you said your fuel pump came from Japan. The box says made in China. Now, I never paid attention to the box. So I looked. Holy yutchafuck. So I made a phone call. Yeah. The fuel pump came from Japan. An authentic Toyota fuel pump. The little filter screens are non-authentic Toyota parts. They're made in China, but they're filter screens. I'm not going to be all worried about them. That's why you have those screens, and then you have a fuel filter. Kind of a double check to keep shit out of your fuel system. So yes, my astute listener and follower was correct. But it wasn't the fuel pump that was made in China. It was them little shitty screens that attach on the bottom of the fuel pump to keep the dirt out. So, in a way you were right, and in a way you were wrong. But I wanted to clear that up, just in case other people that were viewing my stream went, oh, Grumpy, you told a lie. No, the fuel pump, the important part that I need, made in Japan. Not the whole thing. Just them shitty little screens. And if I think they're really that shitty, I'll clean and reuse the old one. But I'm not going to worry too much. They should be okay. But I appreciate somebody being that, diligent. Going, oh, I saw something on Grumpy's video last night. Oh. And when I rewatched, boy, were they paying attention. Because I had the box kind of tilted. And the Made in China, you really couldn't catch it unless you were staring. And somebody was like, oh, Grumpy told a lie. No. Not the fuel pump. Just them shitty little filter screens. And they better fit. Yeah. Federal regulation. If anything in that box was made in China, it had to be labeled made in China. But like my astute follower, immediately one would assume, and you never assume because it makes an ass out of you and me, that everything in the box. Now, yes, I agree, the label should have said filter screens made in China. But no. There's just a label that said made in China. But not the pump. So I'm hoping tomorrow will be RAV4 repair day. I haven't driven it so long I forget what it drives like. Yeah, it's been broke down for a couple of months now. And I would alternate vehicles back and forth. One day I drive the shitbox Nissan, then the next day I drive the shitbox RAV4. And I alternate between shitboxes. But since I haven't been alternating, I forget what it's like to drive it. And I like it because it's loud. Yeah, it has a custom grumpy old man exhaust. See, instead of a muffler and a resonator and a tailpipe, no. It has a muffler and a side pipe. That's it. And it's got one of them mufflers from back in my day. Yeah, a cherry bomb. I didn't know they still made them. Yeah. And this cherry bomb muffler is 8 inches long. The shortest one I could get. It's like having no muffler at all. So, I got the pipe that comes off the converter, goes into that little 8-inch cherry bomb, then it comes out and angles and exits right before the rear wheel. Okay? Now, it's a 2.5-inch pipe. But Grumpy, found an exhaust tip that goes from 2.5 inches to 4. So it makes it sound loud, and I like it. It sounds like a Harley. Well, kinda. But it's loud. Neighbors know I'm coming, and I like it. I made up my mind. When the muffler goes on the Nissan, it's going to get a little 8-inch short cherry bomb. And then I'm going to do it the same way. Exit right out before the rear wheel. And I'm going to get one of those exhaust tips too. 2 inches in the floor. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. It magnifies the noise. It's the little teenage kid coming out of Grumpy. Yeah. Sometime you just gotta go back to your childhood, and I did with a 8-inch cherry bomb muffler. All my friends are like, oh, Jesus, Grumpy, you're an asshole. And I tell them, well, you knew that before. I'm just re-emphasizing it for you. They were like, you know, at our age, things should be quiet. Well, yeah. But not my RAV4. See, with it being a manual transmission, I like that engine sound. You know, as the RPMs increase and then decrease as you shift, then they increase again, and then you shift, then they increase again, and then you shift. Yeah. Up and down, up and down. Quiet, loud, quiet, loud, quiet, loud. That's me. So I want to get it back on the road and irritate the shit out of my neighbors. The way they irritate the shit out of me. Oh, I got one. Oh, jeez. I could kill him. He waits. He sits and watches his watch. Tick, 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 tick. Sunday morning. Tick, tick, tick. It's 8 o'clock. Starts his lawnmower. 8 o'clock every Sunday morning. Doesn't he know some people like to sleep in? No. And I think he watches his watch. Tick, tick, tick. 7:59, tick. 8 o'clock. On goes that lawnmower. And then after he cuts the grass, a half hour of his leaf blower. Yeah. He's got to blow every microscopic blade of grass off of his sidewalk and driveway. He's out there while people are trying to sleep. Takes him 2 hours to do his yard work on a Sunday morning. And if that isn't bad enough, if we have snow, same thing. 8 o'clock Sunday morning, on goes the snow thrower. Oh. And then he uses his leaf blower to blow snow. Oh, God. I could kill him. And I'm sure the rest of the neighborhood feels the same way. But he's crankier and crabbier than I am. I think everybody's afraid to talk to him. I might have to go over and chat with him on a Sunday morning. I'll get his attention by cutting his spark plug wire. Hey! You cut my spark plug wire. Well, yeah. Had to get you to shut the fucking lawnmower off so I can talk to you. But my spark plug wire. You can fix it later. I got things to say. That'll be me. And then I'll probably be leaving in handcuffs. Police will pull up. Why'd you cut his spark plug wire? Because he wouldn't shut his fucking lawnmower off. Well, why'd you cut his sparkler wire? Because he wouldn't shut the lawnmower off. Well, he wasn't finished cutting the grass. Does he have to start at 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning? And the officer turned to me and go, oh, really? Yeah. He watches his watch. Tick, tick, tick. Soon as it hits 8 o'clock, on goes the fucking lawnmower. On a Sunday morning. Can't do it on Saturday? Saturday I could understand. Sunday's a day of rest. You're preventing me from getting my rest. Some of these people. The only time I was up at 8 o'clock, that was on Saturday, was waiting for a ride down to the West Side Market. I'd be up looking out the window. Where's Grandpa? Where's Grandpa? It's getting close to 8 o'clock. Where is he? Then a minute to 8, the car'd pull up. There he is. Time to go down to the market. Get my goodies. Watch everybody play the game. Yeah, I told that to a friend of mine today. Told him the whole story. He said, Grumpy, you're full of shit. You don't remember things well. Oh, I remember the market well. Oh, yeah. Every Saturday morning was the same thing. I remember it well. He goes, oh, them clerks weren't surprised to see you. Maybe they weren't, but they played it up big on Saturday morning. See, that's the only time I went to the market. Saturday. Now, Grandpa went every day of the week they were open. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, you know. But Saturday was my big day. And I mean big day. Big as in big haul, yeah. The stuff I came home with, oh yeah. Especially the Smokies. Oh. I've been talking about them so much, I gotta go get some. And I know right where I can get them. I don't have to go to the market either. Just gotta go down to Fleet Avenue. Go down Fleet, the 63rd. Turn down 63rd. It dead ends at Heisley. Krasinski's. Oh, yeah. Good Polish meat market with the best Smokies you ever ate. Oh. I used to go in there. After I quit going to the market. I'd take a ride down every now and then. I'd walk in. I'd put $20 on the counter and say, give me $20 worth of Smokies. That's all you want? Yep. Here's your bag. Have a nice day. Oh, I will. Then I'd grab one, eat it on the way home. And a second one. And a third one. And a fourth one. Then finally I was like, oh, I'll have this bag eaten before I get home. Quick. Put it in the back seat so I don't... Yep. I've tried them from other places. They don't compare. And I bet if I went in there tomorrow, they would taste exactly the same as they did the last time I bought them. Because they follow a strict Polish recipe for Smokies. Yep. Matter of fact, it got to be the point I would go in there so many times. If the guy saw me pull up out front, as soon as I walked in the store, there was a $20 bag of Smokies waiting for me. Because that's all I'd buy. I remember when I was in the insurance business. I'd buy a bag, and then I'd go on my route. And everybody I talked to was like, "You smell like Smokies." Yeah. I've been eating them on the way here. Where'd you get them? And I tell them. So I sent Krasinski's a lot of business. You want good Smokies? Go there. Okay. Oh, by the way, here's the check for the damages on your car. I wrote Krasinski's address on the back. There you go. Then my boss would get the checks after they come from the bank, and he'd go, "How come all your checks got this Polish meat market written on the back?" Customers ask. Didn't have anything to write on. I'll tell. Don't give me that. You didn't have anything to write on. Well, if I gave them a slip of paper, they're liable to lose it. They weren't going to lose that check. Just hopefully they wrote it down before they cashed the check, and they'd be like, "Oh, what was the name of that place again?" Well, that was an interesting job. Being an adjuster for a high-risk insurance company. Oh. Yeah. Our insureds were all canceled by their insurance companies because they got so many DUIs. I heard the story over and over. I'd get to a claimant's house. "You know, your insured was drunk." Wow, first time I ever heard that one. Really? Yeah. But most of the time they'd leave the scene. They didn't want to get arrested. I'll tell you, I remember the last person whose car I wrote an appraisal for before I quit. It was my last day. I had given notice. It was my last day, my last claimant. And of course, like usual, our insured took off. So I get there to look at the car. And the guy says, "Hey, you know, after the accident, your insured took off." I knew I wasn't going to get no shit from my boss, so Grumpy turned into the typical smart ass that he was. And I pointed to the back of his car. He had a Geo Metro. And he had the top of the line edition, the LSI. Oh. So when the guy said, "Your insured took off," I said, "Well, he was following orders." He said, "What do you mean following orders?" And I pointed to his deck lid and I said, "You see that LSI?" He says, "Yeah." I said, "You know what that means?" "No." "Leave scene immediately." Oh, did I piss him off. But too bad. I was going to the office to turn all my shit in anyway. I didn't care. But yeah. Leave scene immediately. LSI. Geo Metro LSI. He thought that LSI stood for something else. No. Geo Metro, leave scene immediately. Yep. But that's the way our insureds were. If they pulled up behind a truck and the tailgate said Ram, they did. Yep. I always used to tell everybody, see what it says on the back of your tailgate? Yeah, it says Ram. Well, our insured did that, didn't he? Oh, you smart ass. Well, he did. If it said Ram, he rammed it and then left. It was pretty easy for the police to find him, you know. All the radiator and transmission fluid in the street going down to his driveway. But yeah, if it said Ram, it got rammed. Was a interesting insurance company to work for. Yeah. I'd hear the same story. Just like going to the West Side Market. Just a different version, you know. You know your insured left? Really? Knowing that he left. Just like going to the market. Who's that with you, Joe? It's my grandson. And then they'd be, really? Oh my God. They saw me last Saturday. But no, they were surprised. It was a fun game. Because after the really came freebies. Here you go. Thank you. Yeah. No matter what it was. Pork stand, beef spare ribs and pork chops, you know. Beef stand, steak, pot roast, ground meat. Cake stand, be a tort. Here, have a tort cake. Thank you. But I loved the smoky stand. Yeah, that was the best. Here, have 5 pounds of Smokies. Grandpa fixed the light in my meat case. Now people can see the meat in my meat case. Thanks to Grandpa. But he wouldn't take anything, so here's the reward. I'll give it to you. Thank you. Then we walk out of the market. Grandpa'd have problems closing the trunk. There'd be so much free shit in there. He'd tell me, hey, get up on that deck lid and jump on it so I'd get it to close. I'd be jumping. Okay, we got it latched. Then we'd get home and it'd be like, I'm going to turn the key. Stand back. And that deck lid would fly open. There'd be all kinds of shit in that trunk. And we'd carry it in the house. And Grandma'd have a shit fit. Oh, you guys, again? Yeah, again. I'm running out of room in the refrigerator. Say no. Grandma, can't say no. It'll hurt everybody's feelings. You don't want us to hurt feelings. Well, tell them to give you less. Okay, but everywhere except the smoky stand. I can't do it less. But I got the freebies. Yeah. Two things. What my two sisters missed out on. Grandpa never took them to the market. They were girls. No, that was like a voodoo curse. No girls. But he took me. Because I was the firstborn grandson. I always wonder. I never asked him. Like, before I could walk, did you take me to the market and condition me? Because it was like a natural, you know. He'd pick me up. I'd be holding his hand, walking through the crowd at the market. And the stands were really high. People that have to look, you know, the vendors have to look over them. I probably looked like I was about that tall. They'd look over that stand. Joe, who's that with you? That little midget. And he just saying, that's my grandson. No excitement in his voice, just, that's my grandson. And then the act. Yeah. People would be overjoyed to see me. Oh. Got to be the point they'd call the staff from behind the stand. Hey, Joe brought his grandson. Everybody get out here. They all line up and look over that counter. Oh, look who's here. Every single Saturday. No lie. The best story I ever told. Well, that and the way they bought cars. Oh, jeez. Luckily, it was always, you know, after the Rambler dealer closed up, he'd go to Ford. Although for some unknown reason, he'd go to Ford to get his oil changed on his Rambler. I don't know why. I never asked him. I don't know if he knew somebody in the service department or what. But it was the only Rambler in the Ford dealership getting an oil change. Until they stole it. Although, wait a minute, he took his ambassador. He bought an ambassador. After they stole the Rambler, he bought an ambassador. Yeah, he'd go to the Ford dealer and get the oil change. I don't know what it was about that Ford dealer. But he would take whatever vehicle he had to Ford. Until he bought a Ford. And then it was a 64 Mustang. Mustangs came out like around, I think, in April of 64. And I think he bought his in June. Yeah, it was a short time because everybody was surprised. Oh my God, Grandpa's got a Mustang. He didn't even know what a Mustang was. He didn't pay attention to, you know, the big announcement. Ford introduces the Mustang. Nah. Had no idea what it was. To him, it was another Ford with a fancy name. Neither him nor Grandma knew what they were buying. To them, they were buying a Ford. And the best part was, here it is, 64. They just introduced the Mustang. Grandpa bought one, not knowing what it was. Had no idea until he drove it out of the dealership. Because Grandma liked the color. They couldn't even see the car. They saw the roof. They were sitting in a dealership. Grandma just happened to be looking around. Usually she was reading a book. You look around. Well. Oh. Hey, Joe. Look over there. Yeah. You see that gold car? Yeah. I like the color. Yeah. We gotta buy that car. Okay. You like color? Yeah. You want to buy it? Yeah. I'm getting the checkbook out of my purse right now. And she gets the checkbook out of her purse. He waved to whatever salesman was not busy. Can you come over? Salesman would say, yes, sir. That gold car over there. You see the roof? The one in the corner? Yeah. My wife wants that car. Okay, you want to come to my office? No. She's going to write a check. Tell us how much. What? You know, she's going to write a check. She's got the checkbook out. Ready to write, pen in hand. Tell her how much. She wants that gold car over there in the corner. But, sir, hey, you want to sell that gold car or not? Well, yes. Okay, how much? He go figure it up. You walk back over in the showroom. Here's how much it is. Okay, Grandma'd write the check. Tear it out. She always liked to play the game. Can we take it home today? And it took the salesman a little bit to catch on, because she kept pulling that check, pushing it, pulling it, pushing it. Yes, you can drive it home today. Okay, here's your check. Then they'd call them outside, say, here's your car. Here's your keys. Have a nice ride. Grandma'd get in, have a smile from ear to ear because they bought the gold car that she liked the color. That's the way they bought cars. They were always Fords because he liked the dealership and he got his oil change there. So after the Rambler and the Ambassador, it was the Mustang. Then 4 years later, see, she usually didn't go with him. But 4 years later, Mary, I'm going to go to oil change. You want to go for a ride? Yeah, I haven't been out of the house in a while. Well, I'll go with you. They pull in the service department. They get out. Service writer, write them up. They go sit in the showroom. Grandma reading her book. And for some reason, she looked around. Put the book down, pull on my grandfather's coat. Joe. Yeah? Look over there. See that metallic lime green car? Well, I can see the roof. I want that car. Really? Oh, I love that color. Okay. She pulled a checkbook out of her purse. He'd wait for the salesman to come over. That lime green car over there in the corner. My wife wants it. Okay. Go over to my office and do the paperwork. No. She's going to write a check. Tell her how much. But no buts. See, she's got the checkbook out, got the pen in her hand. Tell her how much. Okay. He'd come back. Tell her how much. She'd write the check. There you go. Can we take it home today? Yes? Okay, here's your check. That's the way they bought cars. Everybody looks at me. And the 68 was another Mustang. But it was a GT. Now, here's my grandfather, my grandparents, retired, buying a Mustang GT. Big V8, loud exhaust, except it had an automatic. That fucked it up, but yeah, had no idea what they bought. Didn't even know it was another Mustang until the salesman told him. And then, of course, he almost lost the sale because he said, well, that's a Mustang GT. And my grandmother was like, all right, is it a Mustang or is it a GT? What's a Mustang GT? Oh, you're giving me a headache. You want to sell that car? Oh, yeah. And what is it? He finally got the hint. Well, it's a Mustang. Oh, we're buying another Mustang. And this one's lime green metallic. Oh, I love that color. How much? He'd tell her. She'd write the check. Here you go. And then they go out in the parking lot and drive home in their new car. That's the way they bought cars. The only way Grandpa knew it was a Ford was because they were at a Ford dealership. If they'd have been at a Pontiac dealership, then he'd have bought a Pontiac. If the color was something that caught Grandma's eye. But yeah, they came in with their 64 gold Mustang strip out. And she looked across the showroom. Oh, look at that lime green. Oh, I want that one. And whatever Grandma wanted, Grandma got because she was in charge of the checkbook. And you always kept Grandma happy. So if she said, Joe, I want that car, they bought it. It could have been anything. It could have been an LTD, could have been a Thunderbird, station wagon, just happened to be a Mustang GT. Had no idea. Grandma liked the color. She couldn't even remember what it was. She'd be at her book club meeting. She'd tell the girls, "Oh, you ought to see our fancy metallic lime green car we bought." "Oh, well, what is it, Mary?" It's a GT." "Well, what's a GT?" "Well, go look at it." "I don't know. It's got 4 wheels, it's got a motor, and it's lime green metallic. And on the wheel covers it says GT. You can't miss it. Go look in the parking lot." And her friends would go out and look in the parking lot. "Oh, it's a Ford. It's a Mustang." Neither one of them really cared. If it made Grandma happy, Grandpa okayed it. She looked across and liked that metallic lime green. Never got up to look, just kept sitting in her chair. "I'm writing a check, tell me how much." Easiest sale a salesman ever made, I guarantee. Because they never got up from their chair. He didn't have nothing to do except figure the price, come over and collect a check. And that was it. Matter of fact, they wouldn't even go to his office to sign the paperwork for the, title transfer and all that other shit, registration. He'd have to bring it over. My grandfather would sign it. There you go. When's it going to be ready? We want to get going. About 20 minutes? Okay. And then Grandma would go back to reading her book. "Sir, your car's ready." "Okay." They walk out, get in the car, and go home. Grandma'd be looking out over the hood at that lime green metallic with a big smile on her face. "Oh, I love that color. I love that color." That's how she'd tell her friends. "We bought a nice metallic lime green car." "Oh, what is it?" "What's a lime green car?" "We got it at some Ford dealer. They sell cars. This one just happened to be lime green. I like the color. We bought it." "Well, what kind of equipment's it got?" "I don't know. It's got 4 wheels, got a motor. That's all I need to know. Actually, I don't even need to know all that. Just said it's lime green metallic and I like the color." Anybody that knew them knew that was the way they bought a car. Grandpa didn't dare go anywhere and come home with something and go, "Hey, look what I bought, Mary." Oh, no. It had to have Grandma's color stamp of approval. God forbid he'd come home with a red one. Oh. But they would never get up. They'd be sitting in the showroom, Grandma reading her book, just happened to gaze around the showroom. Oh, wait a minute, gotta mark my page. Put the bookmark in, close the book. "Joe, look over there in the corner. There's a lime green car. Look at it." "What? All I can see is the roof." "Yeah, but it's lime green. I like the color. I want it." Okay, I'll get a salesman. I'm not getting up from this chair. We'll tell him that. Call the salesman over. First off, we're not getting up from these chairs. See that lime green car over there in the corner? My wife wants it. Give her the price. She's going to write a check. And I know the salesman's like, huh? What? She's pulling the checkbook out. She's ready to write. She's got pen in hand. How much? Then he'd come back. Here you go. She'd write that check. Can we take it home today? Yes? Here's your check. God is my witness. Screwiest way ever to buy cars, but that's the way they did it. If Grandma liked the color, Grandpa bought it. Well, actually, she bought it. She wrote the check, but it went in his name. She made him feel good. I'll let you put it in your name, Joe, but I'm going to write the check. Okay, Mary. No problem. And she'd write the check. And then everybody wonders why I'm so screwed up. God forbid they would be like at the auto show, where there's every make and model. And they'd be sitting in the middle of the floor. And Grandma would look across the room and go, Joe, look over there at that lime green car. I want it. They'd end up buying a Hyundai or something. Didn't care what make or model it would be, I like the color. Yeah. Oh, but see it? And every 4 years, they go looking for a different color. Yeah. Oh, we had gold, now we have lime green. Let's get something else, Whatever color suited or fancy every 4 years. That's what they... Oh, look. I like that metallic orange. Really? Yeah, Joe, I like that over there. And they'd come home with some ugly metallic orange thing. Thank God they didn't sell cars at the auto show. That's all I gotta say. His grandma would have planted herself in the first chair with a book. Joe, you go look around. I'm going to read my book. Okay. Then he'd walk around a little bit at the auto show and sit down, and Grandma would look up from her book. Oh, look over there. Oh, that metallic purple. I love it. Grandpa would walk over, he'd come back, go, it's a Jaguar. What's a Jaguar? It's what it says on the car. What? That don't make no difference. It's a metallic purple. I like the color. Get a salesman. That's why they don't sell cars at the auto show. For people like Grandma. She'd have been buying a Rolls Royce. Oh, look at Joe. Look at that. Oh. Yeah. I think that's why they don't sell cars at the auto show. Just for people like Grandma. I like that color. It's a what? A lamb what? A lamb? A Lamborghini? What's a Lamborghini? I never heard of it. Joe, find out the price. I like that color. And they'd be coming home with a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, you know. That's why I say, thank God they don't sell cars at the auto show. Oh, I could imagine what Grandma'd be writing a check for. But that's the way they bought cars. If Grandma liked the color, they bought it. Period. End of story. And I know I've told this story several times, but I run into people that say, oh, you're just making shit up for your YouTube and faceplant and instant green cracker platforms. No. I lived it. They were my grandparents. I was there. I saw it happen. Well, I wasn't at the dealership, but I saw the car after they bought it. That's why I say, thank God they didn't go to the auto show and they were selling cars there. Oh, what they'd have come home with. Oh, Jesus. I can almost imagine. It was bad enough at the Ford dealer buying something you didn't even know what the hell it was. I remember when they brought the 68 GT over to the house. I said, oh, another Mustang. Grandpa was like, yeah, we didn't even know it was a Mustang. How could you not know? All we could see was the roof. Until the salesman told us, oh, it's a Mustang. Oh, okay. I know what they're like. I got one. No, Joe, this is a GT. Oh, stop with the GT shit already. Is it a Mustang? Yeah, it's all I need to know. And it's lime green metallic. I'm happy it's a Ford. Mary's happy. It's lime green metallic. That's it. Prep the car. We want to go home. Okay. And that's the way it was. And everyone says, gee, Grumpy, why are you so screwed up? You heard the stories. Come on, I don't want that. Get. How come my clicker ain't clicking that off? It won't let me click that. Man, it's setting. All right, that's enough. Oh, geez, now I can't get rid of it. I hate when this stuff comes up on the screen. Oh, well. Oh. Come on. I can't get rid of it. And I can't. I can't sign off either. It's in my way. Oh. Okay, finally, I can sign off. I'll chat with you tomorrow before it comes back and blocks my sign off, and then I'll be screwed.